The Korean Presbyterian Church of Bayside Small Group Bible Study by Reverend David Lee. Lesson number 166. Incline my heart to your testimonies. Psalms 119 verses 33 to 48. Teach me, O Lord, the way of your statutes, and I will keep it to the end. Give me understanding, that I may keep your law and observe it with my whole heart. Lead me in the path of your commandments, for I delight in it. Incline my heart to your testimonies, and not to selfish gain. Turn my eyes from looking at worthless things, and give me life in your ways. Confirm to your servant your promise, that you may be feared. Turn away the reproach that I dread, for your rules are good. Behold, I long for your precepts. In your righteousness give me life. Let your steadfast love come to me, O Lord, your salvation according to your promise. Then shall I have an answer for him who taunts me, for I trust in your word. And take not the word of truth utterly out of my mouth, for my hope is in your rules. I will keep your law continually, forever and ever. And I shall walk in a wide place, for I have sought your precepts. I will also speak of your testimonies before kings and shall not be put to shame. For I find my delight in your commandments, which I love. I will lift up my hands toward your commandments, which I love, and I will meditate on your statutes. What did the psalmist of today's passage ask of the Lord? What do you think this teaches us? In today's passage, the psalmist prays that his heart be inclined toward God's word. This signifies a desire to be constantly aware of the importance of God's word. Why did the psalmist pray like this? As we navigate the world, our hearts often turn to worldly things, leading us to neglect God's word. But when we face times of adversity, we return to the word and find the right path again. The psalmist realized his frailty, and so, knowing the utmost importance of God's word, he pleaded for the desire to read the word. A heart not directed toward the word is spiritually impoverished, like a loss of appetite and a rejection of nourishment. Therefore, we must continually pray for a healthy heart that is oriented toward God's word. Furthermore, we should remember that cherishing and consistently studying God's word leads to prosperity, for God bestows remarkable wisdom upon those who do so. Thus, verse 37 declares, "Turn my eyes from looking at worthless things, and give me life in your ways." The psalmist confessed that even amidst challenging circumstances, focusing on God's word will renew our hearts. Therefore, we too should meditate on God's word, anticipating that God will reveal how we can overcome all our difficulties. Now, verse 34 states, "Give me understanding, that I may keep your law and observe it with my whole heart." When we comprehend God's word, we can apply his truth to our lives and experience God. I was reminded of this truth while observing the Dead Sea in Israel. Its surface lies 400 meters below sea level, and constant evaporation has resulted in a hypersaline lake. The high salinity inhibits aquatic life, hence its name. Today, the Dead Sea lies on the border between Israel and Jordan. However, Israel now refers to it as the Salt Sea, due to its discovered usefulness. In fact, this is based on the biblical promise that Israel would be given a land flowing with milk and honey. Researchers investigated how the Dead Sea, a sea of death, could produce this kind of precious salt. The investigation led to the active development of the Israeli side of the Dead Sea, transforming it into a resort area renowned for its therapeutic properties. The Dead Sea contains beneficial minerals that are particularly effective in treating various skin conditions. High-end hotels and resorts line the shores, attracting tourists and those seeking treatment. And the southern side of the Dead Sea in Israel is home to chemical plants that produce soap, mud packs, and raw materials for plastics. There are enough plastic raw materials in reserve to last the world's population for more than 100 years. It's also said that 1/4 of the world's pesticide and paint raw materials are produced in the Dead Sea. Hence, over the years, the Dead Sea has become a world-class natural health center, and the world's largest chemical factory. It is no longer a sea of death but a sea of prosperity. In contrast, the Jordanian side remains underdeveloped, a literal sea of death. Despite being the same Dead Sea, the Israeli side has flourished while the Jordanian side has remained desolate because the latter did not believe in God's word. The phenomenon of the Dead Sea shows that our lives depend on whether we accept and believe in God's promises. Everything hinges on whether we trust in his promises. If we dwell on negative thoughts, believe that we are cursed and destined to fail, our hearts will get ill and remain in spiritual stagnation. However, if we believe that the Lord, who gave his only begotten Son for us, consistently provides the best and works together all things for good, we will experience the transformative power of God. Therefore, we must remember that it is paramount to understand and live by God's word. Let us now examine verses 45 to 46, which state, "And I shall walk in a wide place, for I have sought your precepts. I will also speak of your testimonies before kings and shall not be put to shame." The psalmist declares that he will walk freely, because he lives according to God's word. This means that following God's word removes obstacles from our path. The psalmist also states that he will be praised rather than rebuked, even before God, the King. When we live according to the word, we will not face any impediment because God is with us and clears the way for us. This is why our church's published books are titled Unstoppable. Especially the recently published Spanish version, Milagros sin obstáculos, means miracles without obstacles. When we live by faith by following the word, we will experience miracles and our lives will be unhindered by obstacles. I pray that we will all embrace this truth and resolve to live by faith. Have you ever read the word and lived according to his word? What was the result of that? Let us share our experiences with one another. Let's discuss what you have learned and determined to do through today's word.